The classroom was quiet and bright as Yulius walked in and took his seat. Sunlight streamed through the windows, and the soft hum of the room made everything feel calm and ready for learning. Yulius sat up straight, his eyes already full of curiosity, wondering what today's lesson would be about. At the front of the classroom stood Ms. Clara. Her curly chestnut hair was tied back neatly, and her round glasses rested gently on her nose. She smiled warmly at the class, waiting until everyone was settled. "Today, Ms. Clara said gently, we're going to answer a very interesting question." She picked up a picture of a fish swimming underwater. "Have you ever wondered," she continued, "how fish breathe underwater?" Julius's eyes widened. He leaned forward slightly. He had seen fish many times swimming in aquariums, ponds, and pictures, but he had never seen one come up for air like people did. Leo raised his hand quickly, his striped shirt shifting as he bounced in his chair. "They don't have noses like us," he said. Miss Clara nodded. "That's right. Fish breathe in a very special way." She drew a simple fish on the board and added lines near its head. "These are called gills," she explained. "Gills help fish breathe underwater." Julius listened carefully. He imagined the water moving gently around a fish as it swam. Miss Clara explained that when a fish opens its mouth, water flows inside. That water carries tiny bits of oxygen, just like the air we breathe. As the water passes over the gills take the oxygen out of the water and send it into the fish's body. "The water goes back out," Miss Clara said, "but the oxygen stays." Amina nodded thoughtfully, her dark braids resting on her purple hoodie. "So fish don't need air bubbles," she said softly. "Exactly," Miss Clara replied. "They don't breathe air like we do. They breathe oxygen from the water." Julius imagined tiny invisible oxygen pieces floating in the water, waiting for fish to use them. Miss Clara then compared fish breathing to people breathing. She placed one hand on her chest and took a slow breath in. "We use lungs," she said. "We breathe in air, and our lungs take the oxygen from it. Fish don't have lungs. They have gills." She showed a short animation on the board. It showed water moving through a fish's mouth and across bright red gills. The gills gently moved back and forth. "Fish need clean water," Ms. Clara added. "If the water is dirty or doesn't have enough oxygen, fish can get very sick." Mateo frowned slightly, his curly black hair bouncing as he leaned closer. "So that's why we have to keep rivers and oceans clean." Ms. Clara smiled proudly. "Yes, when we protect water, we protect fish too." Next, Ms. Clara explained that not all fish breathe the same way. Some fish swim constantly, so water keeps flowing over their gills. Others can rest and still move water using small gill movements. Julius found this fascinating. He realized that even when fish seem still, their bodies are still working hard. For our activity, Ms. Clara said, "Let's try something simple." She gave each student a piece of blue paper and showed them how to gently wave it back and forth. "This is like water moving," she explained. "Now imagine gills taking oxygen from that water." Julius moved his paper slowly, pretending he was a fish swimming calmly through a lake. He felt proud understanding something new. Before the lesson ended, Ms. Clara asked, "Can someone tell me why fish don't drown underwater?" Julius raised his hand. "Because," he said carefully, "they use gills to take oxygen from the water instead of air." Ms. Clara nodded. "Perfectly said." When the bell rang, Julius packed his backpack with a smile. As he walked home later, he thought about lakes, rivers, and oceans filled with fish quietly breathing beneath the surface. He realized something important. Even though humans and fish live very differently, every living thing needs oxygen and nature always finds a way. Julius smiled, already excited to learn what mystery the next school day would bring.